Hello, Hugo here. I'm about to show you how you can find the internal bone order of a skinned mesh, reorder the bones visually, and export that into Blender so you can make your own rigged content. So, I've already imported my print bone order script into my project. What I will do now is within the demo here, I will create an empty. This one is going to hold that script. So if I hit add component, I've already searched for it with print, found the print bone order. I will add it there. I will set this to 1, getting this prepared. What I will be doing is looking up the player's prefab. So I will search player T colon prefab, and this will show everything that is named player with a prefab, which this is the one that I want. So I will drop that into the demo here. And I will now start to check if there's anything odd that I may need to do. So in this case, here's the body, which is the skin mesh renderer. The root bone says it's hips. There is the armature object, which has the hips in there, which is great because what you have to do is switch this to the armature one level above. If you don't do that, it actually won't export the hips bone and you'll be missing a bone and everything will just be wrong. So what I want to do here is unpack this prefab completely, or else I can't do any edits. I will select the body, set the armature as the root bone. I'm actually going to duplicate it. The reason why is because I'm going to name this one body female. I'm going to go over to the mesh, search body fem. It's the female model. And I will set the player material to this one, which is player material female. Perfect. And I will now go to the game object that I created that has the print bone order. I'm going to set the body as that. I'm going to hit this checkbox, which basically makes it run. Here's the thing at the bottom saying something happened. I'm going to go to the console, click on this, and I will be getting the bone order. And what you have to do is match all of these with what is in here. So if I start expanding, I can already see it's already out of order visually. This is the internal bone order. So I need to start fixing these up. And I will do that now. Okay, I've now ordered all of the bones to match. So it's hip, spine, spine 1, spine 2, neck, all the way down. So everything looks like it's in order here, just as it is visually over here. And with that, I will collapse that and I will select the player object now, which has the body and body fem. Right click, export to FBX. If you don't have this, you can enable it in your package manager. It's a option within the Unity package store. So we export to FBX. I'm just going to say export to assets because it's just easier to find it that way. Export format should be binary. It defaults to ASCII, but switch it to binary. You want to check off animated skin mesh, and you want the include. It defaults to models and animation. So this is where it can be checked off. but do models only. You can leave all levels and local pivot. All of this looks good now. So if you have your export settings look like this, you should be good. So we will export. It's now exported this. That's the FBX. I will now go over and I will launch Blender. And the first thing I want to do is enable my screencast. So now you can see any of the keys and clicks that I do over here in the lower left. I'm going to select everything with A, X for delete, and I'll just click that. I'm going to go to File, Import, FBX. I'm going to go to my desktop because that's where my modding project is. Assets, and here's the player FBX. I will import this, and you'll see that there's a bit of a mess because he is posing in such an odd manner. We will click the armature here, or we can expand and select the armature. Should be this right here. We will go into pose mode. There's some hotkeys that I'll use, which is Alt-G for reset position, Alt-R for reset rotation, and Alt-S for reset scale. If, for whichever reason, the hotkeys don't work, you can go up to Pose, Clear Transform, All. That will do exactly what I just did with the hotkeys. We will leave Object Mode, and the one thing is we want to clean up all these odd attaches and empties that are used because most of them we won't be using. So this would be good to get rid of. Good to get rid of. There's probably one you might want to keep, and I think it's the head attach. But that's completely up to you. Which I think might be this one right here. That's not my position. Here it is, helmet attach. The reason why you might want to do that is if you're making static helmets, this is the origin point that the game will basically put it. But as far as the rest go, this is the only one that's really important. So there's all these cloth colliders. You don't need those. You can keep the left hand, right hand attaches if you want, but you won't be using them. Won't need the dev effects. And this should have everything cleaned up to exactly what you need. We have our body mesh for the male and our body female. So if you can hide it, you can model for them. So something is still a little off here is that everything's not lining up. So I'm going to select the armature real quick. Within the orange square, expand viewport display, set in front, show both models again. I'm going to select both so you can see how I did that there. And what I will do is I will do scale, which is S, 1.05. Enter. And with that, the models are now matching the armature, and we're ready to start modeling around it. And everything should be okay. And to double check that, let us select the armature. This is the sanity check. Go into scripting. I'm going to hit new just because the code for this is very easy. But if you downloaded the resource pack, you can just use the Blender print bone order script. Like you can just open it with that. So I'm going to import that code. Super simple. I'm going to expand this, which is in window, toggle system console, and I will execute this, run script to bring this back up. And here is our bone order for that armature. The reason why we have that here, I'm going to pop back over to Unity, bring back the window. I'm just going to double check that everything is in order. And it is, which is perfect, which means we did everything that we needed to do and we did it correctly. So with that, you are ready to start creating new things and rigging it to the skeleton and exporting. Hope that helps. Goodbye.